Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Samanaka, the head of placements at Lawsikho, and today I have two very special guests with me. So I have KP Sivaramakrishnan, who is the senior legal executive at Showbox Music Channel, and I'll also be having Pratyul Joshi, the famous singer and musician, who will be joining us during this session today. And before I begin, as you know, this entertainment industry is so glamorous and so exciting. So I would want Shiva to yourself give the background and introduction so that I don't commit any mistakes.
So, entertainment and media, like I think most of the people can connect to it. If I say Bollywood, or let's say TV serials or television, anything related to television or media. But there's more to it. Like it's a lot other things to do. Like you have actors, you have directors, producers, you have singers. Then there are like advertisement agencies, also management companies, like that. There's print media. There are comedians. So media is not just what we see right now. It's what happens behind the scenes also, and that's how vast it is. And there's more to it than what meets the eye. So going by that fact, yes, it's a lot different than what we know about it. It's a huge ocean, like we know only a droplet of it yet. So yeah.
Right. So you always had a passion for music, right? And how did from a musician, how did you become a music lawyer? Entertainment.
So like as we had discussed earlier, um I've been playing piano since my sixth standard or something like that. I maybe like 11 or 12 years old, and because of my dad I came across music, so I pursued it. But I was just playing piano. I didn't have any intention to do law or anything. And then I went up, like when it came to 11th, then parents started asking, what do you want to do? I was like, okay, fine. I did my own research a bit and then figured out, okay, fine, I want to do law. This was in my second year when I was just sitting in during my internship in Bangalore. And I was like, why can't there, like typically we could understand that law persists in everything. It exists in everything, from let's say a furniture to your voice. It exists in everything. So why is there anything which is like a connection or a bridge between music and law? So that's where I came across. I went on to Google, I searched, okay, fine, music, law. I just typed those two words and boom, I came across media and entertainment law. And that was like the first step. I got very excited. I started reading articles, came across people also online, like who like articles about people from our fraternity itself, and like people who are consultants. But the beauty of it is that everyone needs to know. So I went up to my senior back then and he told me, okay, fine. He just mentioned a few case laws and said, you go and read this. I think that will give you a heads up. So I was like, okay, I wanted a connection. But honestly, it's not just like in my case, it may not exist. Like I am a musician, so that's why I connected to it. But it's not like that for everyone around me. Like I know a lot of people who may not be creatively rich, but who have that intriguing thing. Some may be fascinated by, let's say we have Pratyul among us, a singer, and somebody wants to connect and work for an actor or something, and star acha lagta hai, Sony acha lagta hai, oh I want to work with this person, work for these. So that's what's how our fraternity adds to the entertainment industry. We are the people who keep them safe. We are the people who keep them safe from being like caught up in anything. So they also need lawyer. Everyone needs a lawyer sometime or the other, like for anything. So we are precaution and we are the cure for them also in the industry.
Right.
Yeah.
So since you said you are the one who saves the media industry from all the legal challenges, what is the career of what is the life of a media lawyer like? What is the career challenges involved? What is the role of a media lawyer? What are the, especially since we have a lot of students and law graduates who want to enter this industry, but they don't have any background knowledge of it. So what are the subjects they should be aware about when they enter this industry?
Okay, so to begin with, I'd like to just tell all the students who are watching, who may be pursuing, like who may have been graduates or who are just in the final year or maybe younger. Um, Media law is nothing alien to you. It's not alien. It's like it's combination of laws which already are taught in our school, in our law schools, and so what it consists basically, like it deals with your privacy laws. It deals with copyright, IPR. Maybe some of you would have studied, and some may come across in the next semester or so. Trademarks, copyrights, personality rights. Then there's contracts involved, a lot of them, and then there's license deals. If per se, if law is something that one has to go through, it's like there's piracy also. So you need to be aware of the white collar crimes, how to deal with them also in the entertainment industry. So more or less, it's something like there is no particular case, like a course, sorry, that our colleges provide. A few of them have introduced it, but it's not that extensive, and it's made maybe a small subject in a semester. Lawsikho does provide a course, and like even I was intrigued how detailed that course is. So somebody could actually get into it, read it, and it's very interesting. It's got something for everyone, and you won't have any difficulty in doing it as long as you like. It's in anything like criminal law you wanted to do, you wanted to get into mergers and acquisitions, you want to get into like anything else, real estate. Media is just another industry which already you've learned, you are learning in your law schools, you can work upon, and you can get into it. So there's no difficulty on that note. So not a lot is being missed. Other things you can learn as and when you go into the profession. So yeah, there are
Right.
surprises.
You've done a lot of interesting matters, and you've also worked with on Rajnikant's matter, but we'll come to that later. So now you just spoke about the basic knowledge, the background knowledge of a media lawyer. Could you tell me? So there are a lot of students who want to work in the media sector, but firstly they don't know what are the different organizations or law firms working in that sector, and also the in-house rules, right? So
Yeah.
how is firstly a law firm who's dealing with media related matters different from an in-house role of a media lawyer? Like how do you differentiate both the lawyers firstly, and secondly, if you could for the benefit of the audience could mention few law firms which are doing, or few senior counsels who are exclusively working in the media sector.
Yeah. So media. Okay. So media industry is not restricted to only Bollywood. So get that in your head. It may be in any region that you are. Its geography is pan India. Like you have regional industries also, and they deal in television, they deal in advertisements, they deal in films. You have a Bhojpuri film industry which is huge again. There's a Punjabi music industry. Then you have your Bollywood to begin with. Now, as far as law firms are concerned, I interned at Nayak and Company. It's a law firm in Mumbai, and it's a big, huge law firm. They've been doing it for 20 years. Great clients, everything great. And that's where I came. Like I was properly introduced to the on-field work of what goes into media law. And I went to Mohan Associates, which deals with celebrities and matters related to the Tamil movie industry, Tollywood. Similarly, like there are other firms, Haryani and Company, there's DSK Legal. Then you could go to your senior counsels like Mr. Hiren Kamod. And like these days also you could have an opportunity to see his webinars also. He's speaking around, and there's Mr. Tulzapurkar. He's a veteran in the industry. He's an IP specialist, intellectual property rights. But because of his vast experience and how he handles copyright matters, it's a beauty to see him. Then similarly, you have opportunities in Delhi also. Don't get like evaded by the fact, oh, it's It's just examples from Mumbai or Chennai. Somebody from Delhi could go to, like, there's a film city. There are companies like Network 18, NDTV, all these big media houses are situated in Delhi itself, in NCR, and firms like Anand and Anand. So how you can go about looking at a firm or maybe a council who deals in media and entertainment is that, say, everyone would write on the website that we deal in media and entertainment, IT, information and technology, anything, but you have to actually see their practice. You could find their names on the case laws itself, what copyright matter was, which copyright matter was handled by which council. So that's one easy way. Look for an IP specific IP boutique firm. And that's where you can actually see the scope of expanding in media law, because there are so many copyright related matters. There are so many defamation matters. There are a couple of clients, like, because Delhi High Court is good. It's one of the best in the country right now. Delhi High Court, Bombay High Court, they have great cases coming up every day. And with the changing of time, there are so many new stuff that is coming up, new point of law that is being discussed in the court. So um, there are vast opportunities. I was working at Sagar Chandra and Associates prior to, like, when I joined Showbox. They also have media clients. So it is where you get IP probably. In my opinion, you may get media clients, and media law is something that you can tap into that way. Yeah.
I'm so glad you gave such an exhaustive list to the students, because I do get a lot of queries from students where they want to pursue a career in the media sector. But again, the common rat race which most of the students run, that only top tier 1 law firms, top 7,
No,
nothing below that.
no.
Other law firms, boutique law firms who are just doing media related work. So I'm so glad you gave so many names. I'm pretty sure the students will go back to the video and start jotting down all the names. Right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, so,
No,
and when you mentioned about the Bhojpuri industry, it reminded me that when we were at NUJS in our final year, there was
Yeah.
this Bhojpuri song they came to our college to record, and that was a very funny story over there. Like,
Okay.
that also, like, we saw at that point of time the students who were inclined towards media law. That was the, like, close and flavor they got to the media industry. So yes, you are right. There's so much work, and especially with the regional brands also.
Correct. Correct. You may, um, like, people who are viewing or who may view it later on, they may have their hobbies, which may be like singing, music, dancing, or maybe directing, photography for that matter, and
Yeah.
even script writing. Somebody would be writing a book. Maybe he or she goes up to and writes a movie tomorrow, or somebody like Foxstar buys their book, rights adaptation rights of their books. The point is that you may be personally inclined into some sort of creativity, or you may have people around you. The point is, just peak once. You just have to peak once into the media industry, and I'm sure there is something for you, something for everyone into the industry. So I know I may be like creating my competitions right now. Like 2-3 years later, they'll be like, oh, we saw this webinar, or maybe, oh, you provoked us to do this. They may be standing next to me or in front of me on the other side of the table. But the point is that this is still a booming industry, and it's still going way high every year. Way
Right.
up.
Right. And the fact
Yeah.
you yourself are from a non-NLU college and you've actually reached this stage gives a hope to so many students, because again, then the next challenge comes is we are not from NLU. How do we make
Yeah.
for this subject? So, like, if you could share that also in brief, because a lot of, like, I saw 20-30 people joining just now. So for their understanding and their motivation, if you can share that part, how a non-NLU student could make such a big brand of himself.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that keeps me motivated, I would say, that I'm not from the NLU. Earlier, I used to think that it's about competition, but I realized that I'm competing with myself rather than the NLU ones. No offense to anyone who's from the NLU. I'm not demeaning anyone.
From NLU, so
But
not
yeah,
offended.
it's about personal growth. See, I couldn't clear CLAT the first time. I got into the college I was, Chandraprabhu Jain College. And when I went up to people, they didn't hear it. But my dad came to me and he said, you give CLAT the next year. Okay. If you clear it, then well and good, you go into one of the NLUs and just make your life. If you don't, then you're on your own. Maybe you do your internships or not. It's totally on you, totally up to you what you want to do. And it did happen that I did not clear the second time either. So then I focused on my internship. Like that's why after my second year, I went to say Bangalore to intern at Hall Associates. I came across media and entertainment. I was like, okay, I need to look at something, some of the firms maybe, or companies where I can actually work. And I tapped into all the contacts. It's not necessary that you are from an NLU and that the college or maybe your peers would be that resourceful. I didn't have any resource from my college. I didn't have my batchmates helping me out with internships or anything. When I looked around, people were just running to like, I'm into this litigation lawyer. I'm interning under this advocate. I'm like, am I stupid that I'm going for something once the niche is like the field is a niche field, and at the same time, I'm not from an NLU, so nobody is going to look at me. But the beauty of it was because there was nothing to lose, I could get all of that. So I asked, like, I would say my besharam tha dhoondne mein. I contacted all sorts of people, called up my parents, friends, random people, just picked up the phone. I'm like, I want an internship. I want to get into. Look at the luck. Like, through my aunt's sister's friend, who is a senior counsel at Supreme Court, I got through Nayak Nayak. So it's not just that, that tag will help you. I'm sure even Samanika, you being from an NLU, it wasn't like everything was served to you on a golden plate. So you had your own struggles and you had to go through all of that. So the point is that you have to believe in yourself. You will get through it. There is no tag. And today when I'm working at Showbox, let's say, or where I was working earlier in all the firms, the past 3 firms, I was sitting amidst people from law, like NLUs or every place. There were juniors, people who were junior to me who were from NLUs. That totally did not make any difference. They were all on the same platform, same level. So, in the end, yes, it helps you in resuming, but who are you to deny that you can spend time on yourself? Spend time on yourself, study, read. There must be something for you in the passion of law, and you would get through it. So don't take that tag into your head. Remove it right away. You do not need to carry that.
Yes.
Don't lose hope.
Yes,
yeah.
I totally agree to you. And despite me coming from NUJS Calcutta, I was the first generation lawyer, and all the internships done, I arranged those internships on my own. They weren't like, I didn't have any contacts from my parents or relatives. So like you said, most of the students, when they come and they say, you're first generation lawyer, we don't have any contacts. What do we do? The first thing you do is, if you don't have contacts, make contacts.
Make contacts.
On LinkedIn, or talk to your relatives, talk to your friends, talk to your friends' parents. They may have a contact. If you don't have contact, direct contact, make indirect contacts. If that is one thing stopping you, like KP also, because I know the moment you said you got Nayak and Nayak through your aunt's friends' contact, they will say, oh, this guy had a contact. No, that is not a direct contact. That is an indirect contact you make for yourself.
And something to add to that, it's actually like, since you said I got through, like I told you that I got through it, my aunt's friend, somebody. The point is, the second time when I went, this is 2013, the first time I went to Nayak Nayak and Company, 14, I believe. In 16, for my final internship in the 10th semester, I had known it for 2 years that I want to get into Nayak Nayak for an internship and maybe try for a PPO. Who knows? The problem was that there is so much competition around you. And due to that, what I did, I started in July. I wanted to start in January, the internship. I started applying in July of the previous year. 6 months I pursued. I called the people, I called the HR, the receptionist, whosoever I knew. I was like, I wanted. It was a struggle of those 6 months for me personally. Maybe I was not that good, or nobody knew me back then in the first internship. But due to that struggle of 6 months, when the HR called me and she's like, I was watching Wazir, I think, and it was the interval, and that time she called me. She's like, KP, your internship is confirmed. And like I don't remember the second half of the movie after that. It was just going in my head, okay, I'm going to Mumbai for my final year. That's all. That's all I had. So it's about how much, efforts you take in, and people are helpful. You may contact Sammanika or her colleagues. You may contact any person you want. You may contact people you come across in the industry. You may contact me also for that matter. The point is, people are helpful. Maybe they are caught up right now, but there are people who would love to help you out because we know how you struggle. So we know how the students struggle. We've been there. I'm just like 4 years old into the profession. So yeah, I think everyone will get their chance. So,
there are so many people who are willing to help, but again, you should also come up with something on the table, because we receive more than 200-300 such messages where students come and say, I have interest in media, but there's nothing. If you are interested in media, what did you do? What
do
subject?
something about it.
What
Yeah. Do something.
Just show it to the other person that when I'm saying I am interested in this sector, I have done something related to that sector, and hence you should consider me. Right? Basic knowledge. Yeah.
It's as good as a person selling a biscuit. There's a parlay and there's a like, okay, no naming, XYZ and ABC, okay? And you will go to that, you will go and buy that biscuit which is branded more. Like, what is this guy selling?
Yeah.
Where is this guy coming from? How is this biscuit made, or where is it coming from? You won't just go and pick any random biscuit or any product for that matter. So why should anyone pick you up? Don't be demotivated by this. Like, I hope nobody gets demotivated. It's about you need to work towards what you want. I also got lethargic a lot of times, but I had to get my things together and, I had to build it up again. So, yeah.
Always the salesman approach. Just think that why should the other person take you? How are you going to contribute? If it's your interest, how passionately can you show it to the other person that this is my interest, and like if you take X person, he'll give 100%. But if you take me, I'll be giving 500%. I'm so passionate about this industry. Right? Achha,
Yeah.
So now, what is the role of an in-house counsel in the media sector?
Okay, so I'll probably give you a share bit of what I do and what any other company in-house counsel would do, any other in-house counsel would do. So Showbox is a music channel where I work as the senior executive legal. I handle everything and anything related to Showbox. So it could be from distribution, like, okay, you want the satellite licenses from ISRO or any other company which is providing. You need to distribute your channel to say Tata Sky or Dish TV, those type of places. Then you deal in platforms. Do I want to send my channel live to, let's say, another app, or maybe on YouTube or any place? So you get to research on those things. I take deals, I do negotiations related to that. Majorly because it's a music channel. Like, distribution is one time thing that you do and it keeps on renewing and maybe something else comes up. The beauty of this is I came across meeting so many musicians, singers. There are license agreements that I draft. You have deals with music labels to get their catalog of music. Okay, let's say you go to somebody like T Series and you want to purchase their songs. How do you do that? You go to Sony, Z, since it's a Hindi centric channel, I even could go to a Bhojpuri label and say that I want your music. I'll play it on my channel. How much money do you want? Or you could get into a barter deal or sorts. Then there are assignments. We acquire songs also. We have a couple of original songs that we've released so far, and then we have associations for live events and all. So it's that limelight kind of a situation where you get to meet people. I got to meet Kailash Kher, so I was excited. Oh my god, I got to meet him. That was a fan moment for me. So the point is that there is so much that I want to do. Sometimes I'm just drafting a lease deed, which won't sound like a media law thing, but because I'm the company, I have to live myself as a company. I have to portray myself. So that's what I do. But going into a different setup, like let's say you get into a movie production company, there's a lot of other things that you do. You're trying to see what the casting director is doing, because you want the best actors in your movie. You want the best music director to compose music for you. You want the music label to make, like, promote your music. Where to distribute? PVR जाएगा, ये सत्यम में चलेगा या कार्निवल में चलेगा, कहाँ? मतलब after releasing also, will it go into Amazon Prime or Netflix for that matter? Like, half the people today are waiting for it to be released on Netflix. They're too lazy to get into theaters. And plus, amidst all this lockdown situation since the past 1.5 months, yes, that is something that needs to be addressed, whether you want to go to theaters anymore or not. So, you need to go through these challenges, sort of things. And yeah, it's more or less around those lines. But it's very interesting because it's still like dynamic. Every day something new.
Right. So, do you agree that drafting is the basic thing everybody should know? Because for other sectors, when somebody comes and says, "What is, like, I am lost, I don't know what to do." Like just now, also I was having a word with a second year student of a 3-year course, and he came and said, "Ma'am, I don't know. What do I want to do? Like, is it leadership, job?" And I told him,
Learn drafting. You
Drafting
should
is,
know how to draft.
yes.
If
Because
you, yeah,
you shared your experience, so I'll tell you about one student. He wanted to become a director, filmmaker.
Okay.
And because of his parents' pressure, he entered law. Then he did the drafting course. Okay, now it's so that story is so interesting because he started making money while he was still in college. He started assisting startups with their draft, basic contract drafting work, and then he actually joined Bombay. So right now he's working as an assistant director, and whenever there's money crunch, he again takes order for drafting contracts, makes money, and goes back to draft.
That's a smart move. You must give it to him. That's a smart move to do.
Yeah,
Because
exactly. Yeah.
like, it's his passion, so he's doing that. And
Right.
again, like, it's media, so I could connect to that even more. The point is, for any law student, drafting is a must. Like, it's the rule.
Right.
You should know drafting. The beauty, like, I know I've gone through a couple of other courses also what Lawsikho provides, and the other day you and I were discussing that the kind of extensive course that you provide on drafting, maybe something challenging comes, but it's not a difficult task to do it for the student, because they know the basics of drafting.
Right.
They know how to go about it. So learn how to draft. Don't go by the college curriculum also, because interpretation of statutes happen in the final year for me, which was very weird. I was like, why would somebody teach you how to interpret a law in the last year? So how do I draft anything? How do I work around things? The point is, you may draft a plaint in the court, you may draft an agreement in the office, you may go and maybe draft a notice for some circular for some association. Drafting is the common thing among them, and you should know how to do it. You should understand it more than, even if you know bad English, good English, bad Hindi, good Hindi, anything, you should at least know what you're writing.
Right.
You can get help from around, but you should know how to do it. Maybe the structure, or what are the essentials for that matter. But it is important. Like, good point you brought it up, that drafting, how important it is. I know that. Like, I get stuck on something new comes up and I'm like, oh, do I need to Google and check for a template, or do I need to ask around and ask, oh, template de do yaar koi. So you could save your challenges like that, save time by that.
Right. So, like, for media industry, yes, it is good that if you have media background and IPR background, but even if you don't have, say for example, a lot of students are asking, a lot of graduates and lawyers are asking on YouTube right now that we've been practicing law and now we want to enter the media sector, but we don't have media background or IPR background. See, understand one thing: if you're good at drafting, you can still enter the industry, because it's not just always.
You can, exactly.
There's so much more.
Yeah, like I said earlier, like I mentioned just a while back, that I may have joined because of my concerns and passion of law for music, that I wanted to get into media law. There may be others who may be creative, but it's not just something for them. Anyone can do it. You will find your key thing in media and entertainment. The only common thing is, like, understand this. the laws are same. Okay, an IPR specialist, okay, fine. You may think that there is an upper edge, but not really. Law is same for everyone. It's just how you interpret it, what you want to do, what you want to read, how you read it, how you interpret it. So in the end, all that matters is if you are willing to put your effort and time into doing something, you can actually have a transition period. Like today, I may have a challenge. Say I want to go from media entertainment to real estate. I would be like, dude, how am I going to do that? It's so difficult. It's so different and all. But not really when I come to think of it, because there is a law. There are case laws, precedents. There are articles, plethora of books that are available. I can do it. If you believe in that, it's now no difficult thing that you want to get shift your complete profession. And litigation also doesn't mean that you can't do litigation in media. Go around, like we may share case laws right now, or you go on to reading these copyright cases. There are so many litigation cases, and it's not like if you are just doing litigation you can't get into the media needs litigation advocates. Come on, you can do it. So don't restrict yourself, your mind, that okay, I can't do it. You can
So
still you
hope
can.
for everybody in this sector, actually. Is that what you're saying?
Pardon?
There is hope for everybody in this sector, from whichever
Yes, there is.
you come from, legal.
Yeah, I mean, uh, there may be something like you love music, like listening to music, so you would want to work for singers. But anyone, any lawyer can just have that one peek into media and entertainment industry. Give it a shot, just once. You'll know what you want to do. There would be something for you. I'm sure of that. That's the uniqueness of the industry. It's not boring because everyone will get something interesting out of it.
Right, right. So if a student has to take the call between whether he should join an in-house or whether he should join a law firm in the media industry, how do you suggest them to take the call? Like, how should they take the call?
Um, okay. I'd say this. See, um, a company working in a company as an in-house counsel, you wouldn't get to represent your client, like the company in the court. You aren't an advocate. You're just a representative. You may go ahead and hire a legal counsel, like you may hire an advocate or a senior counsel, but you won't be the one who goes up to the judge and presents your case. If you are into litigation, go get into a law firm. It's no harm. Get into a law firm. There are plenty of law firms. There are upcoming law firms which are dealing in media and entertainment industry. There are a few in Delhi also. Like you may look around. I can share if anyone's interested. And that way, if you're interested into the litigation aspect, get into it. If you're get that kick, what most of my litigation like people friends who are practicing in courts, they say that we get a kick out of litigation. So if you're one of those, get into the law firm. Go ahead, work in-house. Yes, you do contractual work, you go do transactional work, you get to negotiate with parties. There are so many confidential information that you have to be like aware of at the same time, and win for yourself. You're the company. Like today, I'm working in a music channel. If I go and represent as the legal counsel, I'm the company. So they're dealing with the company. So I need to understand the business completely. And but it's not just in-house or a law firm. Okay, um, I have also come across so many new avenues in the working in the media industry. You can be an artist manager for that matter. Think how cool is that? You have an artist. So like we are Pratyul. So take an example. I am Pratyul's manager. I know the law. I know what's best for him. Who gets to keep his rights. Oh, okay, he gets to keep the musical work, literary work. Acha, I have contacts also, so I can get him concerts.
Right.
So I can help him connect to record labels also. And then there are advertisement agencies. You see ads and all. Come on, they also have a lot of work. You know, day in day out, they should be aware of the advertisement broadcasting laws. They need to be aware of, let's say, the broadcasting content, what is offensive, what is not offensive, what is permitted, all those things. So yes, law firm has its own side of things. In-house counsel also have. Be an independent consultant also for that matter, and it's going to be great for you. But it's totally upon whether you want to get into a litigation aspect or not. That's where you can like divide things.
Right. So you just mentioned about Pratyul. So Pratyul is also here. But before I
Hi.
come on board, hi Pratyul.
Hi. Hello. Hi.
Hi, Pratyul.
Our fans are here.
I hope I'm audible.
Sorry?
I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are.
cool.
Big fan
Yes.
moment for both of us as well. Shiva, if
Yeah.
I'm not wrong, you also love the Patanga song the most. Like you were
I
discussing.
came across Patanga like a few months back through my colleague, and I was like, dude, this guy. I mean, what is this song? And I think the song was on loop for the whole day, and after that, it's in my exclusive playlist. Like those 20-25 songs I have of myself, it's one of those. It's totally inspirational. So it's a fan moment for me also. So
Oh,
yeah,
thank you. That's so kind of you
yeah,
to say that.
yeah.
Right. Right.
All deserving, man.
Like Kitty was just talking about lawyers who represent stars. Okay. And can you share your experience? Because I personally know about it. So you had shared some song on Instagram, and I think there was some copyright challenge. And
Yeah.
so can you share that
Wow.
experience?
So first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for inviting me for this session because मेरा इतना experience नहीं है कि मैं यहाँ पे आप लोगों के सामने बोल पाऊँ. But it's an honor. Thank you, Samnika, and everyone who's listening to me. So I have had a couple of experiences before this also. Uh, when I was also a performing artist and also with a big record label which I can't name right now, but we have had a couple of experiences now with laws which can be manipulated if not represented well by a proper lawyer, you know. So, and this is coming from someone who has been in a music school and also been through a film school. You know, I'm an alumni of FTI Pune,
Wow.
and
Wow.
वहाँ पे we were taught all the copyright, IPRS laws, and in spite of that, sometimes you are powerless when there are more powerful people at playing at stake. But all in all, I have found it's important to be aware कि आप क्या कर सकते हैं exactly, and also what are the points you cannot do anything about, you know. So एक मेरा experience is one of the experience which Samnika is telling is the covers that you post. Anyone who is covering a song on YouTube or Instagram or you know social media जितनी भी है उसका right आप पे नहीं होता है, you know. So if you're thinking कि आप उसका challenge कर देंगे या you can, it cannot be because the companies are very thorough with their work, you know. So I actually went to the company's office in Mumbai. So we मतलब आप इसे बोल सकते हैं नाइव मोमेंट ऑन माय पार्ट. आई पुट अ पोस्ट सेइंग कि कंपनी ने ऐसा किया है और ये गलत है. तो उसके ऊपर मेरे ख्याल से 300-400 लोगों ने कमेंट कर दिया और उनको टैग कर करके दे स्टार्टेड स्पैमिंग देयर. तो उनका फोन आ गया कि ये आप गलत कर रहे हैं, दिस इज आल्सो लाइक अ दिस इज नॉट डन, यू नो. एंड आई डिडंट नो दैट कि ये ऐसा हो जाएगा उसका, यू नो. सो all in all, I'm saying is there are certain laws which are there to protect you. There are certain laws which are there to protect the companies, you know, music companies and them. And in between you and them, there is a common ground that you can come if you've got a very nice lawyer representing you.
Well, well, that's the challenge. Like you mentioned that about covers. Like I also had a similar thing, not to that extent.
Yeah.
I used to upload piano covers on YouTube,
Hmm.
and this was way back. I was also like, I just started, so I was like, okay, fine, let's see how it goes to upload piano covers.
Okay.
And I would name the company, the movie, nothing. I uploaded one of the covers.
Okay.
Apparently, three covers of that same label, and
Okay.
I got emails from
Yeah.
them and YouTube copyright claims. And I was like, what is this? Back then I had no clue. Like, okay, this is something like against the law. So I was what, 8th standard, 7th standard, 13-year-old, no clue.
Exactly.
And I just left it like that. But after I learned, like I went to law school, I came out, I'm in the media industry today. I'm still after that thing that how can covers be actually made legal? Like it can't be, it's not, it's by law, it's you have to take license for that. But there will be a time when such things can be allowed, probably in cases.
So certain things that I could learn from a very good lawyer friend of mine who now represents us, and the managements that I was signed to, and also the music companies. So क्या हुआ कि music companies में हम गए और they actually turned out to be really nice people, and they explained कि unless you're monetizing it, you know, आप उससे पैसा कमा रहे हैं, they actually don't have any issue with you doing it because कहीं ना कहीं आप उसको promote ही कर रहे हैं उस गाने को, you know, and the larger base you have, they're happy doing it. But ये है कि अगर आप पैसा कमा रहे हैं, so now what has happened is YouTube पे आप डाल सकते हैं, copyright strike नहीं होगा, but if it's monetized, उसका कुछ share automatically
जाएगा to the original owner,
which is fair, which is
fair. Like,
fair.
I think by making covers, the artists are only trying to make their name, like they're showing their talent only, showcasing talent. And I've seen that in a lot of cases, people who were hits on YouTube have entered Bollywood or any other industry for that matter. Like abroad also, in foreign countries also, like they have got opportunities in Hollywood, etc. The point is that it's a platform where you can do make a name also, and there are people who are doing it for you. So that's just one aspect of the whole thing, because as a singer also, it depends on which side of the table you are on. If you have a great song and a music label is dying to release it, launch you, and they planned a whole catalog, like campaign ki bhai 4 concert karenge ek hi mahine mein, and all of that, then you have the upper hand whether you want to give to something like that deal or maybe try something else with some other label. So that's very good insight from the other side of the table, where I am a lawyer, but yes, there are lawyers working for people like musicians like you.
So for lawyers who are not from media background also, the most important thing which plays an crucial role here is how good are you at interpreting the law, because both the parties are reading the same law, right?
Yeah.
So you can use for both the sides, but how well can you interpret it for your client? Again, another plus point if you have that skill. Right?
Yeah. See, sorry to interrupt. Like, so Pratyul, even if he's a musician, okay, he must be aware of the law. He should be. Because even if you do not have any consultant working for you, or maybe tomorrow you're someplace and you have to make the decision there and then, you have to be aware of what the law is. Being a lawyer, whether I was into media or not, I'm supposed to know the law. Like, I can just tell you, okay, I'll get back to you, but I have to go back and read it. I can't just sit on it. That's the kind of thing one would want. And suppose, like Pratyul, you are a musician, you have no idea about it. You may have a lawyer friend, you'll just pick up the call, you'll ask, bhai, ye kya hai? That guy would, despite knowing or not, irrespective of that fact, they'll go back and come back to you, bhai Pratyul, isme ye kar. You do this, you do that. They'll come back with a suggestion. So don't take yourself as an alien to the industry because you do not like have experience or anything. The law is same for everyone. It's public. It's available for everyone. So need to be learning.
Pratyul has to leave in 20 minutes. So before he leaves, just quickly, you've also worked on, I think, Talaiva, the superstar Rajnikant's matter also. So can you share that experience?
So yeah, I was interning at Mohan Associates, and they had this matter had just come up. Like I think it was by the end of it that I was supposed to work on the matter, and it was a defamation suit. So a movie came by the name of Main Hu Rajnikant, and we have all come across jokes on Taleva. Like we've seen so many Facebook pages and everything. This time the guy got like frustrated and all. He got offended
Hmm.
because there were like some jokes also in the movie. There were scenes also which enacted a few, like made fun of him in his sense. So it was totally on celebrity rights. Like today, somebody may go, and since we have Pratyul among us,
Hmm.
somebody goes on to say that मैं हूँ Pratyul, and he takes key things from your life and makes a movie around it,
Hmm.
or maybe key scenes from a movie and recreates it in a funny manner, which may be offending to Pratyul for that matter.
Hmm.
तुम्हारे गाने का किसी ने अगर उठा के खराब बना दिया, you will get offended, man.
I'm
It
saying,
changed the tune and everything.
I'm saying
So
making a, sorry, I'm just cutting. I'm saying making a movie तो
yeah,
बहुत बड़ी बात है. There have been times when we have been misquoted, you know. We're performing at some place in Uttarakhand and the media misquoted me, और वहाँ के legal authorities, like I don't want to name, but district magistrates and everyone, उनका legal notice आ गया कि ये आपने ये कैसे कर दिया, ये कैसे बोल
wow.
दिया. So again, I'm saying there's so many students जो भी ये देख रहे हैं, there's a lot of scope in media, for people like us, we keep getting in trouble, I think, more than normal people. So you'll have
Yeah,
a lot of
you
opportunity.
need more people to defend you. Yeah, someday you guys will come up. Like you need fighters for you. You need your own army of people, a lawyers, panel of lawyers sitting for you. भाई इससे बात कर, तू music managers को deal कर, like that. But coming back to the Rajnikant case, he filed a suit in the Madras High Court in way back in 2015, and he won the case. Like it was one of the essential and primary prominent cases in personality rights, which is again an aspect of media law. Um, so probably like there are other cases also you may come across. There was Urta Punjab. Like I did not work on that, but people would know that Urta Punjab got 96 cuts by the CBFC, and then the law firm they fought for it. They got John Doe orders also, like that. So they got, that is one aspect. Recently, people would have heard Genda Fool Gana by Badshah featuring Jacqueline Fernandez. That also is part of the media law because there were speculations that he did not take rights. So it has its own facts. So there is so much to read that people can actually get into. And it's so interesting to work for such people in the industry. Yeah.
So, KB, because Pratyul has to leave, Pratyul, fan moment. Can you
Yeah.
sing a song for us? 2 lines.
अरे अच्छा गाना.
Ah.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. You tell me what songs you want me to.
Patanga, because I missed it. In
Patanga.
the
Yeah, fan moment, man.
Thank you.
Patanga is the song we heard during our college days. Like it used to be on my top playlist all the time. So,
So there's this little story behind Patanga. ये हुआ था कि मैं I am a small towner and I belong to Dehradun. और मैं देहरादून से फिर दिल्ली में मैंने अपनी ग्रेजुएशन करी. फिर मैं चेन्नई म्यूजिक स्कूल में था, देन पुणे. करते करते आई केम टू बॉम्बे. दिस इज अराउंड 2014, नहीं उससे भी पहले 2012. और everyone, like if any one of you is hearing me out, everyone thinks कि आप ही के लिए बॉम्बे की इंडस्ट्री बाहें खोले खड़ी हुई है, और वो कभी होता नहीं. आप जाते हैं, आपको लगता है कि मैं, एंड आई वाज फ्रॉम फिल्म स्कूल्स एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स, और आपका दिमाग भी फिर बहुत हाई हो जाता है, कि ये मैं ही हूँ. और कुछ नहीं हुआ. लाइक आई एम सेइंग कि 1 साल तक मेरे को काम नहीं मिला कुछ भी. आई थिंक 8 months, and I was completely on my own. तो there was this firm called NSPA जो स्ट्रीट परफॉर्मेंसेस स्टार्ट करना चाहती थी उस टाइम पे, और इंडिया में स्ट्रीट परफॉर्मेंसेस होती नहीं है. अगर आप यूके या बाहर गए हैं तो वहां तो बहुत देखा होगा आपने. तो दे आस्क्ड मी, कहीं ना कहीं से कांटेक्ट हुआ, बोला कि आप स्ट्रीट परफॉर्मर बनोगे. तो पहले तो मैंने मना किया. मैंने ये तो बड़ा बेइज्जती का काम लग रहा है मुझे, ये तो मैं नहीं करूंगा. बट देन देयर वाज नो ऑप्शन. दे टोल्ड कि आपको 800 रुपए घंटा मिलेगा एंड यू कैन कम एंड परफॉर्म एट दीज प्लेसेस. और उसके बाद मैंने 3 साल तक आई थिंक एवरी रेलवे स्टेशन ऑफ बॉम्बे, चाहे वो घाटकोपर हो, चर्च गेट हो, कोई भी बोरीवली, वहां मैंने परफॉर्म किया. स्टेशन, पार्क्स, रोड्स, जहां भी जा सकते थे. देयर वाज नो माइक, नथिंग. आपको जाना है, गिटार लेके शुरू हो जाओ. एंड देयर वर ओकेजन्स जहाँ पे घाटकोपर के स्टेशन की मुझे याद है कि स्टेशन के ठीक ऊपर नीचे से ट्रेन जाती थी, उसके ठीक ऊपर जो ब्रिज होता है जिससे आप क्रॉस करते हो, वहां पे हमें स्पॉट मिला था। तो जैसे ट्रेन आ रही है, उसकी आवाज आ रही है, तो मेरी आवाज उसके ऊपर 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 जाएगी, और जैसे ट्रेन चली जाएगी मेरी आवाज उसके नीचे 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 जाएगी, क्योंकि ऑडियंस बहुत मुश्किल से मिलती है, वो चले जाते हैं लोग।
Correct.
So Patanga was conceived during those times, क्योंकि I was from a small town and बड़े शहर में मैंने जो जो चीजें देखी थी वो उस टाइम का एक तरह से autobiographical. So this is Patanga for you.
So inspiring. See, like I think everyone who's been listening to this, your story also, like there is no nepotism or anything. You may have got everything right for you from your colleges or everything, but the struggle is the key. There is always that struggle that you have to do, irrespective of where you are from. And I think so far you've reached at a position where you can breathe. You can take your first breath and think that I am better than I was. But that struggle is the key.
I believe struggle to continuous होता ही है. Your levels of struggle changes, पहले क्या होता था कि I was living with more than I think 10 लोग, हम 10 लोग रहते थे 2 BHK in RA colony, तो सारे स्ट्रगलर थे. And I'm saying I have shared the flat with those guys for 3 years. तो 10 लोग 2 रूम में, and 10 तो ओरिजिनल जो रहते थे, फिर उनके साथ फ्लोटर पॉपुलेशन भी आती थी, उसका भाई आ गया, उसकी गर्लफ्रेंड रहने आ गई, तो 12-13 लोग ऐसे. तो बट दैट वाज फन. आई एम सेइंग कि आप कोई भी चीज को स्ट्रगल की तरह भी ले सकते हैं, और एक फन भी चल रहा है, कैंपिंग भी तो आप करते ही है ना. सो वी टुक इट दैट वे, फन है, वी आर एंजॉयिंग इट, एंड आई नेवर थॉट दैट वे. बट अगेन, coming back to the song, this is Patanga for you. You and Samnika.
Yeah.
ओ इबके पूछे इबके जाने, जिंदड़ी रे घाग से पीछे छूटे जाने तुझे जो. ओ मन चमकती चीज देख के खिंच गयो किस आग में, पीछे छूटे जाने तुझे जो. ओ बाबुड़े सारी चमक धमक है धोखा रे, ओ बाबुड़े यो माया हवा का झोंका रे, पतंगा तू जड़ ही गयो घना रोका रे, पतंगा तू जड़ ही गयो घना रोका रे, पतंगा तेरी गांव की मिट्टी फिर बुलावे ना 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 ना.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. And
Thank you, Pratyul. Thank you, Pratyul. Yeah.
Pratyul recently met with a severe accident, and he recently got operated also. But still, he agreed to do this. So thank you so much, Pratyul, for coming on, sharing your experience with us, and for the beautiful song.
Salute, man.
On the chat, people have started writing.
Take care, and I hope you get
well. Thank you.
I hope you get well soon, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care, and thank you so much, fan movement.
Bye. Take care.
Bye, man. Yeah. Thank you for joining.
So Shiva, coming back to our main topic. So can you tell us more about Showbox now? You work at Showbox.
It's interesting. Like I can't disclose a lot of things because it's confidential. But so far, I've been as per my profile, I have done negotiations with artists. I'm speaking to the anchors, roping in people, whosoever's new song is coming up. I speak to my colleagues also, and I get to learn a lot from them. Like somebody would be an artist and repertoire who creates the bank of songs, the song bank for the channel. And there's a music manager. What song is he playing at what time? So what is the marketing person doing? So there's a lot of communication that is going around with the companies, like the employees in the company. I speak to my colleagues also. I get to learn a lot. Like, think about it. There's licensing, there's assignment. So there's a lot of law that is playing around. But at the same time, there are non-law things which actually create a beautiful environment for you, in the sense that there are new things. You meet new people from the media industry. Fan moments like these also happen. Like I said, I met Kailash Kher. Like, so such things do happen in the industry, and so far it's been going good. I love it. I'm getting to speak to other labels also, higher authorities and all of that. So yeah, it's more or less great to do something like that. Yeah.
Excitement over there. A lot of people have started thanking you on the chat already.
Oh, thank you. I hope like they learned something.
There are a lot of queries we'll address them. Just 4 minutes left for the session. So if you can allow, may I extend it for another 15-20 minutes?
Sure.
So that we
Sure.
can address the queries from YouTube as well.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Okay. So you had told me you did a lot of certificate courses also when you were studying as, in
Yeah.
IPR, media, and even sports law. So how did those courses help you in your practice?
Okay. So like we didn't have any particular courses. Certificate course I came across this one by this organization called Rainmaker, and they were providing a certificate course in IPR, media law, and sports law. Now, it was an interesting thing, though I was just looking at that media law aspect of things. I was interested into that only, but it actually opened various other avenues. Like um, the course was like in IPR. So I'll go subject wise. IPR, yes, it's trademarks, copyrights, patents, designs. Then you have geographical indication. uh, Connecting that to media law, you have, let's say, even designs for that matter. You have trademarks. You go on trademark search, or you just find articles. There are, like, I came across people like celebrities. Sachin Tendulkar has trademarked his name. This has got a registration over his name. Shah Rukh Khan has got a registration for his name. A.R. Rahman, Amir Khan, all these people, they've been filing. So that added to something like, oh, this can happen in media industry too. At the same time, copyright is something which is, I think, one of the, so if a chair has four legs, copyright is one of the legs of that chair, because the media industry is not majorly, I would say, in all aspects, but it does, copyright is a major role that it has a major role in all of that. Media law, that subject, it dealt with privacy, it dealt with fundamental rights, it dealt with how, like, our constitution has things, like has those fundamental rights which protect whatever you do in the media industry, like you're backed by it. um, then you have cable and television acts. I didn't know back then that, oh, cable television के लिए भी कोई act बना रखा है इंडिया ने. And there are these ASC guidelines, ASCI, that is the Advertisement Council, which seeks, like, looks into the fact that, okay, is the advertisement disparaging, or is it offensive, contains any of, like, obscenity or anything for that matter, or any cuss word. So you need, they have their own policies. Also, like, apart from that, I came across subjects like, let's say, licenses, assignments. What are the differences? How does media like cater to those assignments and licenses? How those laws work into the contracts? And then, like, that subject turned into something different when I went into sports law, because it's something again related. Today, advertisements also. If I'm an advertisement agency, I can hire a actor, I can hire a singer also, I can hire a sports person also. So sports is also into media, like cricket is into broadcasting and all. So I think that's also another avenue. I won't get into the details, but yeah, sports law is something which is related to media law, which you can get into and have fun with it. You love cricket, football, any sport. That's also one other avenue that you can check into.
Right. So there's always an overlap here, right?
Yeah, there is an overlap. There is a middle ground.
You mentioned about privacy. So I remember I had studied media law in my college as an optional subject. And for
Wow.
students who are listening to this session, there are so many issues related to media on which you can write, because the next question which is going to come to me would be, now what are the research topics we can write on media? Now start thinking from a very broad perspective, that what all sectors could overlap with media, and you can write an article there. For example, my batchmates who are working with Star brand, now Star came to our college for campus placement, and
Wow.
we had no idea about media. Like the students who sat for the job, not everybody had media law as a subject, but they had done some or the other article they had written, or during the internship they did something to which they could link during the interview. They could link that
Correct.
this is also linked with media. So the good thing,
Correct.
advantage of this sector is you can overlap so many different sectors and show it to the other person that yes, you are inclined towards it.
Yeah. So just saying it, calling it media and entertainment is giving it a name. Yes, it's bringing everything under the same roof, but it is not a rocket science. It's not something that you can't do. Like I came back and my dad once asked me, I think in my third year or fourth year, after I came back from Nayak and a couple of other internships, and he's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, I want to go to Mumbai. He's like, "What do you want to go do? Like go to Mumbai and do?" I was like, "I went to Nayak once. I want to go again and maybe start working there." So he's like, "What do you want to work into?" One thing I learned there, like I went for the internship again, and this actually like with great responsibility, like I forgot how it said. Um, I was interning at Nayak. I learned something. You have to be a professional. You can't just think that because you're working for a client who is a celebrity or anything, you can't have a fan moment there. So anyone who's interning or who's going to look for internships in the industry, or maybe start working, do not like, let's stay professionals. Be a professional. You help them. Having Pratyul right now, and I and Sammanika having a fan movement, and a lot of among you also having that fan movement, is still in an informal setting, relatively. But when you're working for somebody like an artist, just stay, like hold on to your horses and just stay calm. So that is one thing that's key to the whole thing. Yeah.
Right,
So
and like so
I hope that you are interested in
yes, like this interaction. So I remember when one of my friend was working on a Me Too matter with one of the very big brands, very big production house. I won't name it. And till the time the entire matter was over, she never told us that she was working on this matter. Every day she would go to the meeting hall, have with the client. And once the matter got over, then we came to know, oh wow, our friend was only doing this and we
working.
didn't know
Yeah.
this. So, yeah, that is there. Right. Also, if say right now because of the lockdown also and the sudden this thing popularity of Netflix, Hotstar,
Yeah.
Prime, there's so much more scope in this sector now.
Correct.
Initially, people only when you talk about when you spoke about media, they would only think about Yash Raj, Dharma Production,
Yeah.
the few big
Bollywood.
names.
Bollywood. Khatam. Industry khatam.
Channels like Star Plus or Z, right? But with Netflix, Prime, and all these apps-based programs, there's so much more scope there, so much more work. If you're interested in gaming and you want to work with the gaming industry, that is also like you can work with them in the
You
media sector.
just mentioned something brilliant. Yes, you just mentioned something brilliant. Like I'm sorry, I missed on gaming as one aspect. I'll give you an example. I was playing PUBG like maybe a year and a half back, and there was a mute button. So I just unmuted. Like the sound was mute for a long time. I unmuted it, and there was a track by Alan Walker, Lost Control. And I was like, how is this being played in a game? And then I realized, like, you go back to playing any of the games, like FIFA, you have that background music that's going on. You have all these like famous band songs which are being played on the screen. The point is that gaming is also media and entertainment industry. It's providing you entertainment at the end of the day. Maybe people would be like, parents would be cursing that why is there a PUBG? Why are people playing it? But yes, it's entertainment. So that's another aspect that you can look into because it's still booming. And the beauty of, like you mentioned, Amazon and Netflix, right now, considering there are no theaters, everyone's stuck to their screens, their personal screens, maybe their tablets, PC, anything. Everything, the trend is going digital. Everything is going digital. Your music, you have subscriptions for YouTube Music, Spotify. Earlier you just had to download songs and you put them in your phone, but now they're going to that subscription base. You have Amazon Music. Amazon is providing bundle of like things under its Prime subscription. Like you get Amazon Prime also, you get Amazon Music, and there's of course one-day delivery. That's irrespective of these. But everything is going digital. There is you get opportunities like, so this is where it brings to another thing that you could tap into streaming app, like apps that you are actually listening to music on. You could go and work for them. You can go and work in that company. You can work at Amazon or a Netflix. You can work at TikTok for that matter. That is entertainment. Like, go and just apply at ByteDance. You get an internship at ByteDance, you'll know what they're working. And it's not easy for them also. It's very interesting. It may sound fascinating, but it does take a lot of work behind you. So, you need to just keep your eyes open. Media is not just Bollywood or your television. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
There is so much to it.
We've spoken about all the good things. Now we should also talk about the difficulties. But before that, so there were so many questions regarding the media and entertainment course of Lawsikho, and somebody had also asked about the diploma course, English diploma course, because they said we are poor at speaking English and how can we build on that. So if we are not able to address your queries, I have mentioned my contact number on the Zoom chat. So, and I've also shared Shiva's LinkedIn ID and my LinkedIn ID.
We'll try open to disturbance.
Yes, we will try addressing all your queries here. But if you're not able to, you can get in touch with us. Just drop me a WhatsApp message if you have queries regarding the media and entertainment course, and we'll have a detailed conversation over call on this. Okay, so now let's talk about the difficulties. Keeping nice things aside.
Okay. I don't want them to be discouraged by the whole thing, but yes, it has been tough because because the industry is so niche in its own manner. Like, sorry, I went up to a lawyer and said that I want to intern in a media and entertainment law firm or a company. Please help me out. They're like, huh, what is this? So that's one of the challenges I faced, and I see that today also, although there are so many people doing it, a lot of things aren't available for everyone, like connections maybe, or um, right internships. You may not get into the right firms where you can learn, or you can get into companies where you can learn. It's a difficult task because of the niche factor here. It's not like a criminal law where you just know a lawyer and you could go get into, but it's not impossible because there are people who will help you out. So I am telling you that there's this loss that happens to people that, I also lost hope in middle that why am I after this? Why do I have to struggle so much? Like, why don't I just do it? And for a fact, I'll share that. I did not get my first job at Amicus IP. I was handling media clients for my boss, from a senior, and it was good. So I thought that, okay, fine, I'll be in this industry. But after that, the next couple of places that I went, I could not tend to the copyright aspect or the media aspect. I was just stuck with trademark law. Although I learned a lot, but then the point where I got Showbox, the plan changed. But I had to be consistent in my thought process and in my head that yes, I want to stick to the gameplay. Yes, I want to stick to the fact that I want to do this someday, someday, someday. So I had to be patient, be patient enough. You will find what you want to do in media. And if you are confused about the whole thing, um, it may be challenging, but you may do courses in the meanwhile, increase your knowledge, start writing articles. Because That's how you could, like, I'm giving you problems and solutions at the same time. Whatever I could have tried at my time and I could not, or I did not, thinking that, blah, who's going to put that much effort? That's where I lost. You write articles, you may contact some Haningar for that matter. And these guys can write articles for websites. They can start posting on their LinkedIn profiles. Like, forget
Right.
about anything else. You
Right.
could start from your LinkedIn profile itself and be active with people. That's all.
Right.
That's all.
So let's start taking questions. You can pick from the chat. And somebody was asking me also, why did I join this sector? Okay, Aryan wants to know, he's asked this question thrice actually. Since you are from non-NLU, can you explain how a non-NLU student can crack a top tier firm internship? Because NLU colleges only, they create a prejudice. Again, Aryan, the whole point of having this conversation was that do not just think about top tier law firms. There's
Top
a
tier
lot more.
firms. It's not. There is a lot more to it than meets the eye. It may sound fascinating to tell people that, I am in the top four. I'm not taking away the fact from those people who have actually achieved by working at the top four. But, you know, you can get only this much. You get your own slice from the big plate now. Why should you go after someone else's plate? You do not have to just look at the top four. Today, the world has changed. An independent practitioner, you may be judgmental by that fact. He's just an independent practitioner. What is he going to give me? Knowledge is everywhere. You get to learn everywhere. You just know whom to ask. And you can't do that if you keep that in mind that, oh, I'll be successful only if I go to a top tier firm. No, I am sitting here. I have not been into a top tier firm. I am a non-NLU. I have achieved this, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of this fact, and I am ready to help people. Like, I'm a fighter for those people who stand no chance, also who think that they don't stand a chance. Get off that mentality. Stop thinking like that. It's a negative thought you're going into. Don't do that. You can fight it.
Let's address that also. If you are so keen in getting a tier one firm internship, understand that start planning it. It's not that they don't give, apart from one or two who are very NLU specific, everybody
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
these two law firms are.
Yeah.
Also, there are law firms who don't mind taking non-NLU students. Just plan it in the right
It
manner.
does not matter.
Yes, from your second, third year, if don't directly send an application to a tier one firm. Plan it in such a manner that if you don't have a corporate background, if you just studied corporate law, start with a tier three firm. Start with a startup actually. That will give you a better exposure.
Yeah, I mean,
Then you can definitely go to tier one. Yes. Right
correct.
or
Like you said, the startup initiative, like helping startups during these times, and that should be consistent throughout the year also, and post-COVID period also. That's an opportunity that you yourself are getting. Like, any student who would go and draft a mere agreement, say a two-pager agreement, any for a startup, yeah, you're building your own practice in that sense. You do not have to run after the law firms or anything. Today, you can work anywhere except for, like Sammanika said, that those places where you have to be an NLU student, NLU graduate. Sorry, it's not necessary. The world has changed. Like, everything, like everyone has their own share. You will get it. Just don't open your mind. Just open your viewpoint, and you will. It's not about the money. It's not about anything. Forget the money in the beginning. Just go for somebody who you believe in and can work in, and build contacts. Attend seminars. Like, once things get sorted, you go and attend conferences. Meet people. Who is who? Get to know those people. Speak to them. Connect to them. It's not about. It's not a bad thing to have a reference. Don't take it in a negative way. You'll take it in a negative way only when you do not make an effort to get references or make public relations, and you are going to go on the negative. If you make your efforts right, you will get it. That's how I will sum it up.
you can pick questions from the chat.
Sorry.
How has COVID affected the media industry?
Yeah, I was going to that question only. COVID, it's actually like affected in a different manner. It's actually leading us to something new. As you may have all seen that, imagine you may be conducting a series of seminars in a span of 3 days in a hall, okay, and you would send invitations to these students. But today you have webinars. How many opportunities did anyone get from the media industry? You have singers coming on Book My Show and giving live performances. How close are you? Like, you can comment and request a song. Somebody is reading your comment. They're giving you shout outs. Um, yes, the media industry is affected because the productions have stopped. Movie productions have stopped. New song releases are stopped because, like, okay, they may be recorded, but there are no videos, so they're releasing in some manner. Um, Companies are trying to figure out how to go about this dynamic change from, theaters or phones, like, complete how to go digital about things. So that is a challenge that the media industry is facing today, and that is where we lawyers can see an opportunity. We can keep ourselves up to date about how this is happening. Know your business, know a company, what it does, or how things happen, how things work. Start reading, start following the trend. There are so many websites which deal into like proper entertainment specific um, articles and news articles. So, you can probably look into those, and you could understand how the trends are going around. So I do not think that it's a negative thing how the media industry is affected. Yes, there are losses, but it's gonna catch up. It's gonna catch up. And there will be new things available for all of us. That's something like I am myself excited for how things will change. So, yeah.
Right. So next question, let me pick from YouTube. There are so many. Okay, there are so many questions on
Okay.
YouTube. Srishti is asking, how do professionals with 2 years of basic experience in litigation without strong internship go ahead in this sector? Second is Rajat. He has asked two questions. What resources do you utilize for gaining insights on media and industry developments? Second, any key thoughts on networking and how you go about it? Very interesting.
Very interesting. So, um, the question, the first one, like, I think it was 2 years experience with no internship experience, and how do you enter the industry? There's no law written, like, there is no strategic way to go about it. There are no rules how to enter the industry. You contact people, you may ascertain the companies, you may look around, whichever city you are from or anything.
Kibi, did you mute yourself by any chance? I think you have. 1 second. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now I'm audible? Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
you're audible.
So, whichever city you are from or anything, wherever you're practicing right now, you may look around and see if any opportunities are available in a company, maybe, or there will be law firms. There will be regional music production companies also. The point is that you should not hold back just because you have 2 years of litigation experience and you do not have internship experience. If you are willing to learn, you will get through it. And nobody wants anybody who, like, I wouldn't want personally, and I've seen a lot of people wouldn't prefer somebody who just knows law, who is smart enough to learn the law, who is smart enough to adapt to dynamic, like, who is dynamic, who has a dynamic personality and can adapt to changes. So once you have that sort of an understanding and personality, you will go through it, and that personality can be developed. It's not like I was not born with it or anything. I had to work on it. I also had to go through my struggle of developing my personality to go and speak, to be upfront with people, to how to behave in front of my seniors or anybody, whom to speak to, how to, So there's no rule book for it to enter the industry. You can do it if you have the key, like insight, and you have the urge, curiosity, those things. Put your right effort. And as far as what Rajat had asked, um, key things how you can get insights. You know, like I just mentioned a while back, you could go through articles from these specific websites. I shared there is IPR Mint Law, there is Spicy IP, and there are many others I can't recall right now. But I do share articles. Pardon?
iPleader's blog also has a lot of articles on IPR.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. So it's not like there is dearth of these articles. There are plenty of articles. Sometimes I also learn law at least by Googling and reading the article to understand what it talks about. What is it that I'm looking for? And for networking purposes, LinkedIn has been the best thing that has happened to professionals. And even if you are a law student, you should be active. You should read. You should speak to people. You should connect with people. Even a slight thank you message, thank you for connecting also. Yeah, it was great to connect. At least puts you somewhere in their mind. Okay, you sent a message. I'm not asking you to spam their folders or anything. But the point is that you can use LinkedIn, you can use Facebook or everything just to build your networking, get to know the right people.
Right. So somebody has asked on YouTube, I think Samir, yeah. He says, I'm from finance background. I have diploma in media law. Can that at least put me in a place to start my career in media industry? I think the answer is yes, of course.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
You may not be in the position of a lawyer, but because you are aware of the law, you can play around with a lot of things. And just one small example, this information I got to know from one of my friends, that in US, a lot of these publication companies, publishing houses, record labels, a lot of the people who are leading it are lawyers. So it does not matter that, if you know the law, you are stuck to being a lawyer. You can actually lead an organization. And if you just know the law and you're not a law student, but you know it, you can still lead it. So that's a good question that he asked, being a non-lawyer among lawyers. So I think everyone's on the same platform if you just know the law, and everyone's supposed to know. Yeah.
Right. So a lot of questions on the chat box where I think they are getting confused, thinking you are also one of the faculties of our courses. So KP is not the not the expert of our courses. So any doubts related to the media law course, I am sharing my number on the chat once again, and you can drop me a WhatsApp message. I will connect you to the expert with whom you can discuss all your queries regarding Lawsikho, or the people who are watching us on YouTube, you can get in touch with me on LinkedIn. I'll connect you with the expert who can address all your queries regarding the Lawsikho IPR and Media Diploma course. Right. Next, very interesting question on again YouTube. Asta is asking if you're not interested in the litigation industry but and have no background or experience, but we are only interested in contracts and IPR sectors. Is there a specific role in media industry for us?
I mentioned it earlier, keeping it crisp and short. I am one of the, like, I think you're talking about me. So it's not like I'm interested or not interested in litigation. I didn't prefer it. I am dealing in contractual work. I deal in IPR. So, I am who you are talking about. You can work in-house. You can manage. You can get into management agencies. You can work for production houses as in-house counsels. So not necessarily. And a lot of times you may even represent these people in, like, let's say, a deal over a table. And when you want to go to the court, you may hire an IPR attorney for that matter, which I would do in my case. So you can go for an in-house counsel. You can get into law firms also. They also have contractual positions. They do not like, they also keep people who do just contractual and transactional work and not litigation. So depends on where you're looking.
Yes, and like Rushraj has written a question. He spoke at the right time because somebody else had also written a similar query. So even I would like to add to that my friends who are working in the top brands, there also they have teams who are handling different kinds of matters. So she's only handling finance, banking and finance, because there's a lot of loan financing happening there. She may not be doing IPR. So that division is also there. If you want to work with a media house, not do co-litigation or not do XYZ kind of a particular type of work, you can still work with the brands, right? So
Yeah.
Rishi also said,
Yeah.
like, apart from legal aspect, media industry, how should one go about understanding the transactional functioning of media industry? So would you like to answer this?
Yeah. Yeah. That's again like, you need to know your business. You need to understand how things are done. Say you're into a broadcasting company, you need to understand, know your business. Um, how are things done? What is uplinking? What is downlinking? There are these technical jargons that you would come across, and you need to know that. But if you are in a production company, it's not like you just ask to draft agreements right away. You need to understand how the company goes about it. What is to be done when? When are the payments to be made? When is the shoot going to be? Which state are you going to shoot in? So it's not even like you're just on the agreement side of it. You have to know what is the company going to do. I can't today sit here and think that, okay, my company is going to broadcast in US and Canada. Oh, it's not nothing for me. I need to know. If they go to US or Canada, how are they going to? And it does not deal in anything related to, let's say, law. It may be a simple process. The technology I need to understand. Oh, यहाँ से satellite में जाएगा, satellite से वहाँ पे download करेंगे, उसको broadcast करेंगे, like that. And then I'll be like, a lot of times I've read non-law things, and I've like pulled my hair out thinking, what am I doing? But that's the thing, because you need to know your business wherever you are working. You're working for a musician. Do you know you need to get an insurance for his voice also? Arijit Singh would have got an insurance for his voice. You need to analyze those things.
Yeah.
It's a good question, actually. Interesting question that person asked. Yeah.
So, like, since it's already 5:30 now, you all can raise your hands and I'll unmute you. You can directly ask your questions. Meanwhile, somebody has asked, this is a common question on YouTube as well as on Zoom. People have done masters in media law from outside India, and they are saying, but we don't have field experience. How should we go ahead?
Oh. Um, you have a different sort of, I think media industry pan world, like pan globe, is the same. The way they function, it's the same. The kind of opportunities, because you are from, you've done LLMs or done courses from international universities or colleges, I wouldn't say, like saying that you would be in a better position is like demeaning the others, but that's not the case. You know what, like you have the insights from a foreign country, let's say. The point is that the opportunities remains the same. You need to actually connect to people, and um, you need to be understanding of how the trend works in India. Whatever you learn outside, maybe catering to that country. So in a manner, you could think that it has to be Indian centric in the end whenever you come back to India. So yeah, more or less on that note, that's it.
Okay. Anything else you want to pick from the chat? Geet, you had a particular question, but I didn't get it. So let me unmute you and you can directly ask. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. So, what I was saying is that what are the essential things that should be done by a second year law student in the beginning to find his interest and get the interest done in a particular field? Like, right now we are talking about media law, right? So what are
Yeah.
the things like internships and research, as you said, right now in the pandemic portion, you can also work online as well. So what exactly should we do? Like, can we brief us about it?
Okay. So, like whether current situation or not, as a law student itself, you need to behave like an octopus with 10 legs. So, you could just get into the fact that, write research papers, do internships. That's key. That's the key thing, because a lot of times practical experience is what a law student would be is always interested in, because they're just reading law and they don't know the practical aspect of practical
Right.
side of things. But the more you do the internships, the better it is. And meanwhile, when you are not interning, get into writing articles. There are so many websites like who would cater to these things. You do a course from Lawsikho, because I personally feel that it's a very interesting course for media law. Even when I came across, I spoke to Samanika just like maybe last week, and I just went on Lawsikho and saw what course are they providing, and it's one of the extensive courses that I found till date, like
Okay.
among what is available.
No, you just
And I remember speaking to somebody from Lawsikho who's
because
there, I think, and I
I
was quite
think
intrigued. I was
you
like,
for the course.
pardon?
I think you have sent a request for enrolling for the course yourself
Yeah,
as well.
I'm myself like on the verge of enrolling for it. I've just like got a couple of things to take care of. But internships, um, build your PR, public relations, write a research paper for that matter. And it shouldn't be like you're writing for an organization or anything. I think Lawsikho would help you out, considering you are already a member or maybe know people there or anything. You could connect to those people. They would help you out to pitch to the right people. And if nothing works, then just write articles on your LinkedIn. Your connections will read and you will get their attention. So there's a start, and be consistent with internships. I think that's the key thing that I could give you, and just do it. Just do these. You will be fine. You will
All
be
right.
fine.
All right, sir.
Okay,
Thank you
so
so
this
much, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Actually, it was Geet Walecha who had asked a related question which I had missed, but I think I unmuted the other Geet. So
Yeah.
is Geet. Let me unmute you, please. Yeah. You.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know that what are your views on OTT platforms, regulations of OTT platforms, because there are no such regulations on that.
Okay. Yeah. So OTT, for people who don't know, over the top. That's your Amazon. That's your Netflix. That's your Tata Sky app, GeoTV app, those things. So it's a good question, because things are going digital now. Things have been going digital, and they are now. Like, that's the only way the world is going to proceed towards. The point is that yes, there are hardly any laws right now which are protecting the content, or let's say the aspects of OTT platform, because it's still in its exploring stage. I know, I understand that in the past couple of years there have been speculations on, uh, you know, the cuss words being used in movies released on, or series released on Netflix or Amazon Prime for that matter, obscenity, and there are no regulations. CBFC can't handle those things, and so should there be a regulating authority for those uh, things? Because it's in its nascent stage, we there is a lot that can happen in a discussion, because if a lawyer goes up, you're selecting a movie, you're paying. So in theaters, to watch a movie, an adult movie, A-rated movie, you have to be 18 plus. That's the law that says. And in some cases, you need to be accompanied by your parents. What happens with OTT platform is, yes, they have made children category also, but come on, who goes into a children category? And I believe like school students also watch all sorts of content. Regulating authorities are being set up. There was a recent draft that was made. Um, we as lawyers can actually play a part, because what falls into freedom of speech, what does not fall into freedom of speech, what is obscenity, what is not obscene. So it's still in that argumentative state. So I can't say whether when things are going to be like affirmative. Yes, like right now we have laws for for like movies and all, regulations. I can't say, maybe in the next couple of years. But if you enter it right now, there's nothing like you're going to master it. It's in the nascent stage. You start struggling, you start reading right now, it's going to help you out a lot. So things are going to change. Digital is the key. If you are thinking of just entering media entertainment today or next year, digital, go digital. Things will change. Things will change.
Right,
Yeah.
and the fact that like a lot of students are asking about the standard question of pressure of working in law firms, and seniors keeping
Oh,
it
like
is seen everywhere. It is just the same in all the different sectors. It only depends on your senior, your team, and your
yeah,
client commitments.
it totally depends. And I'll tell you, um, in my experience, sometimes that pressure is a boon. It is a bane on the aspect, yeah, you lose life, work-life balance or those things. But sometime it will pay off. So I know people who are still stuck in such an environment. A lot of firms still keep that sort of an environment. But come on, if you don't like it, leave it. So it's not about the pressure. It's about you learning. You learn, you move. That's all.
Right.
Focus on yourself, not anything. Like
So while the grass may look greener from the other side, the biggest challenge is if you're working with a celebrity, you have to understand that there are even stricter deadlines there. I remember one of my friends who was interning at a law firm. I'll not name the law firm. And since he was involved in that matter for a very long time, one day the seniors told him that let's go and we want you also to join us for the client meeting. This is not something which normally happens in law firms. Like they don't take interns, but because this guy had worked with them for such a long time, they said, let's go. So when he
yeah,
went to the client meeting, there was this person who was sitting in the burqa. He didn't know what matter it is.
uh,
There's too much of confidentiality involved there. And when the person removed the burqa, I'll not name the celebrity, but you all can guess that was a very famous porn star. So yes, that is there. But again, you can't even mess up there. When you're working with the celebrities, there are
yeah, you
stricter
can.
deadlines there.
Yeah,
To join this
you
industry only.
see again. Yeah, like you said, it's about professionalism also. Do not just get carried away by the fact कि celebrity है इनके नखरे होते हैं. नहीं भाई, काम करो. Stick to your work, stick to the basics. Don't think that if you think it like just any other industry, you'll still be fine. But if the moment you start getting excited about things, except for this where we had Pratyul and he was singing for us, you will face issues. So just be normal, calm. You'll get through it. You'll get through it. It's not rocket science.
And if you're able to help them towards the end, of course, they will come back with a thank you note for you. Like Pratyul just sang a song for us, you might be lucky to.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did not frustrate Pratyul or we didn't bore him in those few minutes, and that's why he,
Was
like
kind of.
he was fine and he sang for us. Fan
Yeah.
moment fulfilled. Like
Right.
I would have like paid also to watch his concert, but this is better.
I went to a paid live concert in Missouri. He had no, actually, that wasn't the paid concert. Paid concert I had gone for Pratik. So for Pratyul concert, he was recently performing at Missouri Carnival. But by the time I reached there, he had already signed Patanga. So I missed the song there. So I was lucky I could hear that song live right now. Okay, so we've already stressed it way too long. Last
Yeah.
have for students and to everybody else, like if you've missed any question, please get back to us. We would like to address it, but to save everybody else's,
Yeah.
let's close this session. So I've shared my number on the chat. I've shared Shiva's link, my LinkedIn ID's link. His full name is KP Sivaramakrishnan, and he works at Showbox Music Channel. and my full name is Samanika Rawat. So you can search both of us on LinkedIn. You can get in touch with us and discuss any queries you have. So what would be your last note for the audience?
Last note. I hope I have been the mentor I never had. Like that's what I always wanted to, how I always wanted to help my juniors from the industry or somebody who just has the query. It was a great session, and thank you Sammanika for putting it together, because this is one of my first experience to come on live, and I think I took it as a burden that, oh, I don't want to ruin careers of people. I don't want to be in a situation where people come back and they are views like, what what shit were you talking about? So I hope I made sense. There I may have just stopped in the middle of a few of things, because it's a whole plethora of things. It's very deep, and start reading one day at a time. Live one day at a time. You'll understand everything, and just key things. Those 4 points, like I said, internships, research paper, articles. Focus on your ability, work on yourself. But that's all you need. Once you do take care of all these things, everything will fall into place. So build your contacts, work like that. And I think because you are all associated, most of you are associated with Lawsikho, uh, I think there's nothing else. Like I know Lawsikho because when I was in college, I saw Ramanuj. I connected it with him on LinkedIn, and since then I've been following him. And today, being a part of Lawsikho, doing something how he used to take care of us back then, it's a proud moment for us, a privilege. And I hope I made sense to people. And yeah,
Definitely.
that's all. Thank you, Sammanika, also. And
Request all the participants.
and you made me happy.
Thank you.
Pardon?
You. All the participants to kindly rate this session, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And meanwhile, while they vote on the chat, I'll just share with everyone that you are one of those guests who are more excited than me for this. Like you were doing so much of hard work. There were so many things for which you did your research before coming on this platform. So thank you so much for this. And I'm really glad you shared. Actually, like you did answer a lot of queries. So you were the mentor, like you said, you didn't get, and you clearly justified that.
I hope.
We have a lot of 10 on 10s. 4 on 10 by Ivana. Ivana, did we miss anything? Let me unmute you if you want to ask some question.
Am I that bad or?
Yeah, everything is 10 on 10. So I've unmuted you. Please go ahead. Where did we go wrong?
Yeah, please.
Ivana?
Did she exit? Ivana, did we offend you or did we not help you? Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell us. Enlighten us, please. Thank you.
She's muted herself. So clearly she doesn't want to tell us. Okay, somebody said 10 on 10 and a star. Oh wow. On YouTube,
Thank you.
10 on 10.
I never got stars in school. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much once again. Thank you for this session.
Thank you
for attending. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Sammanika. Thank you, Lawsikho. Peace.